I'm Marty Deuter.
And I'm Jennifer Varimas. Welcome to our Ward 1 news channel. As your first ward alderman, we want you to feel safe and connected. Our YouTube videos will take the place of our traditional ward meetings.
So this video segment, we have a special guest, Erin Jason, who has also starred in one of our earlier videos. Erin is the Business Development Coordinator for the City of Elmhurst. And in this segment, we are asking Erin to talk about the effects of the pandemic on local businesses and the ways that the city has responded to support them.
Hi, Erin.
Hello.
Thank you for being here with us today. 2020 has been a tough year for many businesses. Can you give us an assessment on how Elmhurst businesses are faring?
That is a big question with not an easy answer. Some of our businesses are thriving right now. They're doing really well. They've pivoted, they found their niche, or they weren't as affected as some others. And others are hanging on by a thread. And it's a really hard time for everyone in the community, whether you're a business owner or resident. But for our business community right now, there are some that I talk to on a daily basis, just to kind of touch base, because we don't know what next week looks like, let alone tomorrow. And it's been like that for months. So that takes a real toll. There are some businesses that, we've already lost some. Will we lose some more? Most likely, yes, as we go into colder months in particular, and not knowing where the next few weeks will lead us. And so from our standpoint, overall, we're very positive and optimistic that, we're going to get through this. And so many of our business owners are positive and optimistic, and we're going to keep doing this, and we're going to keep doing this, and we're going to keep trying, and they've been doing that all along. But the reality is that we don't know full landscape, what it's going to look like at the end of this. So it's just really about outreach right now and making sure everyone's okay.
Erin, I want to add on to that question just a little bit. I've heard you talk about a couple of success stories about the businesses who have responded in multiple different ways and really tried to be creative in their approach of how they deliver their product. Can you just share a couple of those? I know they're challenging stories, but in some way it's also a success story. It's just interesting to hear how different businesses have been able to adjust.
Sure. One of my favorites to talk about is, and I think this is maybe the one you're thinking of that I've talked about before, is Cayenne Couture on Spring Road. So I know not a first ward business, but an Elmhurst business that's been here for many years. Katie Kemp reinvented her business. When the shutdowns happened back in March, we had lots of phone calls. This is my job, is relationships and contacting people. And Katie was like, Erin, I don't know what I'm going to do. This might be the end of Cayenne Kate. And then the next thing I know, Kate has developed a website. And then she was doing delivery and curbside pickup and personal shopping. And next thing I know, not only has she been posting things on social media, she's invited people into her home. And I think that piece right there, where Kate kind of doesn't like to be in front of the camera. You would never know that if you watched her Instagram lives now. Now she's dancing. She's like Ellen dancing, with people on Thursday nights or Wednesday nights when she does her Instagram live. But she introduced you to her kids, to her husband, to her own fears and worries about 2020. And then at the same time, started integrating in her vendors and her employees, and you got to know her on a whole different level and her business on a whole different level. And she is doing so well right now. It doesn't mean you should stop supporting her, absolutely, please. Keep supporting Cayenne Kate and all of our boutiques and all of our businesses, but I think Kate is just a really great example of someone who took hey, this is how I've been doing my business for this many years throughout Elmhurst, and now it's a totally different platform. And we see Evelyn on Second just launched a website just yesterday. They were like, okay, we're doing this. Enzy has revitalized bread and butter. All of our boutiques have done this. When you look at restaurants, there's so many restaurants that never had done delivery before. When the first shutdowns came in March again, Jack Island from the Silverado Grill, 40 plus years in Elmhurst, said to me, Erin, I need maps because we're going to try delivery. And I said, I had my cell phone. I said, Jack, you got a map right here. And he said, Erin, I need a paper map so I can. So I brought him a bunch of ward maps. It was a rainy March day, and we went through okay, you can do this, Jack. It was great to see. And I see like Fry the Coop, they put in a walk-up window, like a delivery walk-up window, so you can either pre-order or just walk up, and you never go into the restaurant. And they have not had indoor dining throughout the entire pandemic since March, since the first closures, because for their team, they felt safest in this model. And they didn't just say, we're going to put up a walk-in window and this is it. They kept tweaking how their pickup was going during the closures, and then in phase 3, and then in phase 4, and now in the mitigation measures. They've continued to adapt throughout the way. They didn't kind of settle, and that's what we're seeing, those who have changed. Alderman Veremis, in your own business, we saw you go from like, okay, you know, now there's pedicure kits that you can pick up, and Judith B was doing online sales, and so many different businesses were adapting. It's really been great to see.
No, that's terrific. All those are great stories, and those were the two I had in mind that you mentioned, Fry the Coop and Cayenne Kate. Erin, can you describe the actions that the City of Elmhurst has taken to support our local businesses? I know this is your almost 24 hours a day job. I know how hard you've been working, but can you describe some of the things that the city has done?
Sure. I like to say to that point that I love my job. So, and I always say that, like, I love my job, but my job doesn't just come in the sunshine. It also comes in the shade. And a big part of our economic development philosophy here in Elmhurst is relationships. So we took those relationships that we had, and when the governor announced, you know, this is happening, and then this is happening, and then this is happening, we started utilizing those relationships to do deep dive connections with people and business owners, and we've continued to do that in different segments. And it's not just me, it's Assistant City Manager Mike Kopp, and it's our consultants, and it's other members of our Economic Development Commission who are all doing all kinds of outreach. But outreach alone obviously doesn't necessarily help businesses, though sometimes it just helps to have someone to cry to, someone to hold your hand through, someone to walk you through a website or walk you through resources. So that is one thing we've been doing, lots of information sharing. We set up right away a COVID business support page on our website, and we constantly are updating that with federal information, state information, county information, other regional opportunities for businesses, whether it be grants, loans, resources, just to help people to help you pivot, right? So the Small Business Administration and different other links. We've done, let's see, I'm just looking at my list, I don't want to forget something. We've done all kinds of coordinated business support programming, initiating and advocating in different pieces for the businesses, including but not limited to, we did a restaurant support guide right before they closed. We contacted every restaurant in town. We called everyone individual to see who was going to be open the first time around, and we continue to keep information updated on that. We put out curbside and carry out signage. By now I'm sure you're all familiar with the bright orange signage around town to help expedite that and make things easier for people. We presented to the City Council and who approved an extensive outdoor dining program. And our plan with that was, how can we get as many seats as possible for each restaurant that wants them outside this whole summer and into the fall, and we've been working with them on fall plans as well. We also looked at how can we help our fitness providers. We are a MedTail community. We have lots of small fitness providers in town. And so we went to the City Council and said, we would like to give use of city-owned property to fitness providers. And thankfully the City Council said, we agree to that. And our fitness providers have responded en masse. You can see Title Boxing doing classes on the History Museum lawn. There's yoga classes in a city-owned parcel near the old hospital site. People used the police station. We had a couple different groups out there. Fit 60126 was one of them. E-Town Fitness was working out by the library. So there was just so many different moving parts to that. I was really excited that helped so much. We reconfigured, I think this is one of the biggest things we did, we reconfigured our Explore Elmhurst site. So Explore Elmhurst, particularly on Facebook, had been used previously to promote the trolley and events in town. Well, neither of those things were happening this year, so we reconfigured it to be business direct sharing. So we follow now as many businesses as we can on Facebook, and throughout the day, like first thing I do when I wake up in the morning, my husband's looking at sports scores from the night before, and I'm scrolling through sharing out Explore Elmhurst posts. And I know now, like, Enzi is one of the first ones to post for the day, you know, and Jennifer Blanchett is one of the first ones over at Maxine's. So just making sure that we're sharing out as much information, especially during the closeout, but even more so now, and that was a really big piece to it. We've, like on an internal side, participated in all kinds of webinars, all kinds of seminars and virtual meetings. I have cohorts in communities across the Chicagoland area. Nothing's better than sharing with, I like to say, with my friends, right? To get on the phone together and to Zoom together. And for quite some time, we were teasing each other on who was still at home and who was in the office. We have one of our cohorts who was always sitting in like the dark. You know, we were like, put a light on. And he was like, I haven't shaved in months. But we were sharing out, like, what are you doing in Arlington Heights? What is Elmhurst doing? What's LaGrange going to do? LaGrange said to me, I'm going to do whatever Elmhurst does. You know, we all just kind of work together because it's not a cookie cutter solution. And that's what's really hard for some people to understand is like what worked here might not work there. But hey, Elmhurst, you're doing this outdoor fitness. That's a great idea. I'm going to run with that in my community. And hey, you're doing this, we're going to try that here, and we're going to buy barricades for businesses. And that was one of the things the city did with CARES Act dollars so that they could expand their outdoor dining. And someone else called us and said, where'd you get those barricades? We want to do that too. So a lot of sharing that way. And then we really worked on and have continued to work on support local now campaigns. And we did that during Safe at Home, we did bingo, we did videos, and we continue to do it in Restore and Revive phases of the plan. The e-newsletter has, if you don't sign up for the city's e-newsletter, I encourage you to do so. Throughout the shutdown, it was going out multiple times a week, so there's new information going out every week on that. And lots of social, we've done podcasts. If you listen to the E-Town Lowdown, we were on there as well. So lots of different variations. I'm sure I'm missing things, and I could talk for days, so I'm sorry.
No,
Lots of things happening.
Great information. We know how hard you're working.
Absolutely. So this is a subject that is I know a lot about, right? You and I were in communication before the shutdown even came. We knew it was coming. That weekend I had talked to a lot of other local business owners, and I get emotional talking about this. So I'm going to speak not as an alderman or a resident, but as a seasoned Elmhurst business owner. I've experienced your commitment to our community firsthand, especially during the COVID shutdown. And I always say, owning a business isn't a job; it's a lifestyle. It's part of who we are. And the shutdown was devastating. But to have the support of our residents, our city, and you, and everything you've done has really given us, a lot of us, the strength to persevere through this. So I just want to say thank you.
And because of COVID, I can't give you a hug. You have so much.
You've spoken so many times about this, at city council and sitting here with us. But I really want the residents to know firsthand from somebody who has how you've been there for us. And like you said, sometimes a shoulder to just cry on, someone to talk to, and always making time for us. So thank you very much. And to the city and all the support we've had.
Well, thank you. And thank you to the city council, because we can just come up with ideas. We can't set policy. So we can only do so much on our own, but to take some things to the next level, that happens because we have 14 aldermen and a mayor and a city clerk and a treasurer who believe in the business community and who support staff when we say, we think this will help. And we've met with restaurant owners, we've met with salon owners, we've met with fitness owners, and this could help. And that we have that support from the city council. That makes my job easier, and it makes our community better. So thank you, both of you.
Well, our downtown is certainly important to the whole city, and the Ward 1 residents in particular feel that connection to downtown very intensely. So, Erin, thank you for all of your hard work. Thank you for joining us on our Ward 1 channel. Connecting with our residents is very important to us. Please message us with any questions, comments, or concerns. And don't forget, you can sign up for our email list. You can follow Alderman Verimis' Facebook page, and you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you again for watching. Please please stay safe and well.
Thank you.